Ladies and gentlemen, how are we all doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Today is episode 4, the second to last episode of this little mini series, right? We have 5 episodes total. Today we're going to be going through maps 20 through 11 of our top 50 zombie maps of all time. Don't want a super long introduction. If you want to watch the other videos, they'll be linked down below. But ladies and gentlemen, let's get it started. Coming in at our number 20 spot, we have Rave in the Redwoods. A lot of people think this is gonna be high, and it is. But the reason I like Rave in the Redwoods is the color and the rave mode when you get smoking on the Zaza, get high on the drugs, right? No, but I love the color of this map. The layout is a little bit questionable. I think it's too big with not a lot of fast travel, but the boss fight's cool. I love the different melee weapons within the map, and I love the color. Color. That's what I love about this map. The boss zombies, I think, are really cool in this map. The apes are really cool. And the wonder weapon, I do like it. I know, like, a lot of people are not fans of the crossbows, but I'm a personal fan of it. I do like the crossbows in this map. So I don't want to go too much about Rave in the Redwoods. It's not a super popular pick of mine, but I'm going to put it at number 20. With that, coming in down to our number 19 spot, we have For Time and the World Do Not Stand Still. 5 is coming in at number 19. And Law of Life, no, I'm just kidding. 5 is going to be our number 19 spot. 5 has my favorite boss zombie of all time, the Pentagon Thief. I think he is the greatest boss zombie. I absolutely love him. So that's number 1 about the Pentagon Thief. But number 2 about 5 is the issue it is not higher is, yes, it's got that nostalgia. It's actually the very first map I played. I played 5 before Kino, which is kind of crazy. But the reason I think it is not higher on the list is because it is not really playable after solo. I think 2 players you somewhat can play, but once you get to 3 and 4, the map is just so tight together, everyone's together, that it's very hard to play with more than 1 player without running into them and without it being sort of kind of like a hassle, especially if you guys are on all different floors and somebody downs. It's like impossible to get them back up. So for that reason, unfortunately, I have to put 5 at the number 19 spot. But coming in at the number 18 spot, we have the finale of Ether Zombies Tagged or Toten. Now this is beautiful, a beautiful version of Call of the Dead, and it's got some amazing things about it in BL4. I think it's got an amazing round 100 strategy. I love things like the heat pack. I love the zip lines. I love the layout of this map. I love the interactive map features. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's an okay ending for Ether, but Victus sucks, right? I don't like the wonder weapons too much this map. I know that some people do, but I'm not a huge fan of them, especially the Sniper Wonder Waff and the Tundra Gun. I mean, those 2 are not my favorite. And there's other things in this map that I really do dislike, but I gotta say, visually, it's the best looking map in BO4 in my opinion, and I think that it's got some awesome side Easter eggs, like the Mars Easter egg, like the Misty Daughter Easter egg. Like, it's got some really cool things about it. The Samantha's in the box, what's his fucking name? Pablo in the lighthouse. It's got some really cool things, but unfortunately, it's gonna be a number 18. But coming in at our number 17 spot, we have Classified, the better version of 5. Now, Classified, I wish it had the Pentagon Thief, and that's really what brings it down. But what does bring Classified up? Well, let me explain this to you. Got a better map layout, got a better pack-a-punch, got a better wonder weapon, got a better, you know, sort of progress to get the wonder weapon, got some story behind it. That's just stuff that 5 doesn't have, and Classified just does that better on a newer engine that's better, and with, you know, BO4 is not loved, but I think Classified actually fits BO4 very well, and I think that especially that little side Easter egg at the beginning where Samantha talks and all the zombies spawn in the upper area, and she's like, "Leave me alone!" I think that's awesome. And that's why Classified isn't at the number 17 spot. But coming in to our number 16 spot, we have Zetsubo no Shima, the first Is this the first Black Ops 3 map on here? That just tells you kind of peak Black Ops 3 is. But Zetsubo is coming in at this spot. And this is just because I think that Zetsubo is the worst out of BO3. It has a awesome Spider boss fight. It has the KT4 Masamune, which is really cool. It's got the gas mask. It's got great features. But Zetsubo falls under the fact that it's got the Thrashers, one of the worst zombie bots of all time. And it's got one of the easiest Easter eggs with a terrible Easter egg ending boss fight. The spider boss fight is way better than the main Easter egg boss fight, and that's a big issue. So although yes, Zetsubo no Shima is really cool and all that, I think that it's not my favorite BO3 map, and I like the ending cutscene, but in my opinion it's definitely the weakest counterpart of Black Ops 3. But coming in at our number 15 spot, we have D Machine, the first map on Cold War Zombies. Now, the one thing I could give it to D Machine, I gotta give this credit, is the fact that people were playing it. Man, I mean, God, this was everywhere. But at the end of the day, D Machine is a facility map with Nocturne Totem, and it's not that crazy of an environment unless you go into the Dark Ether, which is a very cool idea. But it just seems bland. The location in Poland, the underground bunker is cool, but at the end of the day, the map doesn't feel super like an amazing location. That's my big issue with Cold War, is none of the locations felt awesome. They all just felt like, okay, we're going to a facility, we're going to another facility, we're going to the Berlin facility, and then we're going to somewhere in the campaign. So it's like, D Machine is not completely original. I do like the Die Wonder Woman, but it's not my favorite though. The ray gun strategy, the high round strategies map is awesome. The Easter egg is easy, but it is fun as well. But my main issue with D Machine is not the map itself, but the fact that it took Treyarch 4 months to come out with another map. And in the process of that 4, they came out with Cranks, which was and they came out with Jingle Hells, which is the single worst thing I've ever seen. But coming into our number 14 spot, we're really getting into that top area here. We have Revelations. God. You know, at launch, Revelations was really hated by a lot of the community, and especially the story aspect of it, but the high rounds in this map are easy, but they're a lot of fun, right? This map makes you super overpowered, and although the ending Easter egg boss fight isn't the greatest, I gotta give it credit where credit is due. I really do like the Revelations map overall. The idea is really cool of combining all the other maps, and yes, there's the downside of, well, there's no new areas except for the Apothecon and the spawn room, but at the end of the day, they mix and match these areas very, very well, and there's so many different spots. I mean, you could recognize Origins, Mob, Buried, 5, even Zetsubo, Varrock, Shangri-La. It's like you probably didn't even know that you saw these areas. Zetsubo Nishima's in there. You probably didn't even realize that. So yeah, Revelations is really cool. It's a beautiful looking map as well. And although Jason Blundell said we played for 18 months, I'm just playing it years later and I'm still having a good time about it. So coming into our number 13 spot, the highest ranked non-Treyarch Zombies map on the entire list, we have Spaceland. Now, Spaceland is beloved by the community nowadays. It is celebrated, and it's because it's just got so much going on with it. You got the amusement park, and you can go on the different rides. You have an awesome trap with that little chomper that's out there. You have a pretty cool wonder weapon with the disco. It's okay, but the boss fight is difficult Easter egg, which is always appreciated, and this is definitely Infinite Warfare's high point. I feel like you can see on my list, and just my overall experience with Infinite Warfare, you start out super high with with Spaceland. It's the best in the game. You go a little bit bumped down with Raven the Redwoods, and it's still good, but it's not Spaceland. And then as you go down, you start to see a very dramatic shift in the quality, and that's the issue with Infinite Warfare, but at least it started on the super high note that is Spaceland. But coming in to our number 12 spot, we have Call of the Dead. Now, this map is awesome, but there's two main issues with it. Number one, George Romero, right? I think George Romero is a great boss in terms of the idea behind him, right? The father of zombies in movie and cinema. But for the zombies map, he was implemented very poorly, even though he can give you a really good reward with the Wonder Waff once you kill him. But coming in at number two, the Wonder Weapons are weak, both of them. They don't get you past round 50, right? The VR11 is terrible, especially on solo. I guess you have the insta-kill effect on co-op, but we're really reaching for straws here if we're going to talk about that effect. And number two, the Scavenger is really cool in the higher rounds, or the early rounds, sorry, with PhD, but once you get into those higher rounds, it becomes utterly useless. That, including with the ice, Call of Dead has awesome things to talk about. The fast travel, the introduction of Deadshot, which I think is an underrated perk overall. It has a great atmosphere, especially when that fog does go away, and there's just something about Call of Dead. I don't really know what to say about it, but I can't put my finger on it. But Call of Dead is an awesome experience, but unfortunately, it gets shelved by some of its lesser qualities. But coming in at our final spot, number 11, ladies and gentlemen, we have Buried. So Buried is going to be our number 11 spot. And why? Why is Buried in our number 11 spot? Well, Buried is by far the most unique Victus map. And you want to talk about innovation? Buried innovated Leroy/Arthur, an amazing system, something that we've never seen before and still haven't seen since. Yes, there's other AIs with Klaus and stuff, but Leroy's on a whole nother level. You know, you have the chalk system, very cool. You have the Witch's House, one of the greatest bosses of all time. You have the story behind with Jebediah Brown and with Victus and the sharing mind of Maxis and Richtof and the Flash and the whole underground system. The map idea is awesome. Hey, let's take a underground let's take an American Western city and put it underground in Africa. That's fucking awesome. But you only can do the Easter egg in 4P, even though Sharpshooter is an amazing step. Paralyze is really good, but it doesn't kill around 100, and you have to use a subsurface resonator strategy, even though I love the Paralyzer, and it's still great for mobility. Buried is just so goddamn easy, and the bank ruins the map. I know people will hate, well, what about Goblins in BL3? Well, the bank is easy, and I don't know. I just have a different feeling about the bank. It's just something with me, but I love Buried. I think Buried is on so many people's top 5, some people's bottom 20s. I don't understand the diverse placements of Burieds and throughout the community's list, but you got to give respect to Buried for its innovation, and it's coming in at number 11. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Hope you did enjoy. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and comment down below what you guys think is going to be my top 10. You should know some of the maps by now. If you're thinking, well, Legend, you haven't said this map yet. Probably in the top 10. So thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it, and I will see you all very soon.
St. James Republic, Hudson River.
Contestants. Hello, contestants.
Into a loose confederation.
The iceberg goes deeper.
Military threat.
Leninist and will be one until the day I
The iceberg goes deeper.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.